So, aside from Wakanda Forever, the other MCU movie that I think after all this time I was finally curious enough to check out was the Doctor Strange sequel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the 28th MCU film released in May 2022 and directed by Sam Raimi. Now, it was cool to have Sam Raimi back to direct a Marvel film. I think we all would have liked it if he had some role in directing the previous MCU movie, Spider-Man: No Way Home, given that those were the characters he had 20 years ago. But at the same time, it's just cool to have him in here. Now, this particular film did link with the Marvel and Disney Plus series WandaVision, which I'm gonna say I have not seen, but I knew enough about it that it didn't necessarily slow me down. So Doctor Strange, played once again by Benedict Cumberbatch, he attends the wedding of his friend and former co-worker Christine Palmer, played once again by Rachel McAdams. However, shortly after this, he and Wong end up discovering monsters, or a monster, a giant eyeball monster, kind of swirling around Manhattan. So they go off to try and hunt it down, but end up discovering it has brought with it a human named America Chavez, played by Xochitl Gomez. And Chavez's power is that she is able to travel between universes. She had previously been travelling with another version of Doctor Stephen Strange, but he ended up dying, which Strange had previously seen in a dream, and now she's just trying to escape from the creatures, along with the being that seems to hunt her down. While trying to work out what to do, Strange ends up contacting his Avengers teammate Wanda Maximoff, played once again by Elizabeth Olsen, to try and one, tell her he doesn't blame her for her actions in Westview, but to also ask her if she'll take care of Chavez for a little bit, only for him to realise that Wanda has rather gone off the deep end. Wanting to try and find where her two children, who I think are called Billy and Tommy, but I'm not entirely sure on that, she wants to try and find an alternate universe version of her children and reunite with them. She just wants to be with her children, and she doesn't care how many universes, how many people she has to kill in order to get back to them. Because Wanda has now gone fully Scarlet Witch. I don't believe the term Scarlet Witch was actually used before in the MCU with her, but I could be wrong about that, but she was always just referred to as Wanda, but now she's gone fully Scarlet Witch, and she wants to do anything to reunite with her children. And she wishes to, in order to do this, she feels she needs to take the power of America Chavez, to which Strange wanted to protect her. So Strange and Chavez kind of leap from universe to universe, trying to find a way to shake off Wanda Maximoff and ultimately keep America safe. To which they even end up encountering a Bruce Campbell cameo, to which, for those who don't remember, Bruce Campbell showed up in all three of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. In the first Spider-Man film, he was the wrestling announcer, if you remember that. In the second film, he was, I'm not entirely sure what he was. He was like the doorman of the theatre, and he bars Peter Parker from coming in. And in the third film, he was the maitre d' at the restaurant where Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker was planning to propose. They did also have plans to do a Spider-Man 4, where he would have been revealed to be Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, but ultimately that never came to be. However, while going through the multiverse, trying to escape from Wanda, they also end up coming across a version of the Marvel Comics team, the Illuminati, which I think is kind of cool. I have also heard kind of various accounts about who was going to make up the Illuminati. For example, I believe hearing a while ago that one version of the Illuminati had Tom Cruise in it as an alternate version of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. But ultimately that was deemed that it was never going to happen. Anyway, the version of the Illuminati they end up coming across is made up of Strange's adversary Carl Mordo, played once again by Chiwetel Ejiofor, Captain Carter, an alternate version of Captain America, played by Hayley Atwell, who does show up in the Marvel Disney Plus series What If. Another version of Captain Marvel, this time Maria Rambeau, played once again by Lashana Lynch. Black Bolt, played once again by Anson Mount. Reed Richards, a version played by John Krasinski. and Professor Charles Xavier, played once again by Patrick Stewart. Now, in terms of the other members who make up the Illuminati, I do think it's cool that they brought back Patrick Stewart and Anson Mount as Black Bolt and Charles Xavier. With Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, I do think it would have been cooler if they'd brought back either Miles Teller or Owen Grufford to play Mr. Fantastic, but maybe it was a scheduling conflict and they couldn't get them. But either way, I think John Krasinski does a good job here as Mr. Fantastic. I mean, we're getting Pedro Pascal later on for Fantastic Four First Steps, so evidently he's not a long-term solution, but it's cool to see him here. And I do like how they ultimately deal with these characters. The only slight issue I had with the film, and it really, like with my one issue with Wakanda Forever, it really is a nitpick, and that's when Doctor Strange and Chavez arrive on Earth 838, and they see the statue of Doctor Strange and learn that Mordo is the Sorcerer Supreme. Strange ends up saying that after his last encounter with Mordo, Mordo ended up trying to kill him on multiple occasions. And I'm thinking, did he? I feel like that could have been a film in itself. It just feels a little bit sudden. I mean, we know at the end of Doctor Strange, Ejiofor's Karl Mordo was setting out to kill a load of sorcerers. But still, it would have been nice to see some of that. Just to see him trying to kill off sorcerers, or see him in another fight with Strange. But just it feels a little out of nowhere, just to suddenly have them say, oh yeah, this guy's a bad guy now, even though he was a protagonist for most of the other film. But like with Wakanda Forever and with Black Panther films, Multiverse of Madness, it's utterly mad, but it's fun mad, it's Marvel mad, and at the same time they do some really beautiful images, especially with the magic. And while I thought that Christine Palmer, played by Rachel McAdams, was only really going to be in the beginning of the film, when they end up encountering her on the 838, where she kind of works for the Illuminati, I think they do well with her there. Also showing Ultron Centuries, that's kind of cool. But they had Charles Xavier, and I believe by this point Disney had purchased Fox, so they could have used like Sentinels from the X-Men universe, but at the same time, just to see them here, it's kind of cool. Also to see the quite gruesome ways that Wanda ends up killing off versions of the Illuminati, which I won't spoil here, just go into it. But at the same time, I think it does well here. As I said, it does also lead to a pretty great climax and a really good character moments for Elizabeth Olsen. I hope this in the end we see the Scarlet Witch. I mean, I know Marvel is going in a different direction with some of the other characters, but I do hope they find a way to bring Wanda back, even if it's with another actress. I think I'd like to see more with the Scarlet Witch, but as I said, I don't think Multiverse of Madness is necessarily the best Marvel film, but it's Marvel mad and it's fun mad. And Doctor Strange, it's always one of those films that we thought we wouldn't get for a long time, and now that we have, they're leaning into the madness, and Multiverse of Madness, to have a film where they're leaping between universes, it kind of makes sense for things to be a little mad. Anyway, with the MCU films I still haven't seen yet, well, I haven't yet seen Love and Thunder from Thor, I haven't yet seen Black Widow, or, actually there's several, I think there's only actually 4 I haven't seen. Black Widow, Love and Thunder, I haven't yet seen Deadpool and Wolverine, I haven't yet seen the Marvels, so, yeah, what do I think of those? Well, maybe we'll wait and see with time. But in terms of Multiverse of Madness, I think it's a great fun film, and if you haven't seen it yet, I think you're missing out. Anyway, till next time, see ya.